My brother called me a corporate sellout and a manipulative snake just because I used my entire signing bonus and every single cent to pay off our parents' predatory medical debt, and now the family barbecue is a total disaster. And I'm sitting in my truck with the engine idling, wondering if doing the right thing was actually my biggest mistake, because it's funny how you spend years sacrificing everything to be the good one, only to realize that being the hero just gives everyone else a target to aim at. And I'm 24 years old, and for the last 3 years, while my friends were hitting music festivals and blowing their salaries on designer sneakers, I was living in a studio apartment that smelled like damp cardboard and bleach, and I worked the graveyard shift at a data center fueled by nothing but lukewarm coffee and a bone-deep fear of ending up like my dad, broken down and tired and hounded by collectors, and I didn't have a social life or a hobby, because all I had was a spreadsheet, and my goal was simple: to pass the CPA exam and land a big firm job so I could finally buy a car that didn't rattle like a toolbox in a dryer every time I hit 40 miles per hour. And I was so close because I had the job offer, and I had the bonus, and I was finally going to breathe. But last month, while helping my mom look for a stamp, I found the final notice hidden under a stack of grocery coupons, and my mom's surgery complications had spiraled into a $60,000 mountain of debt, and the interest was eating them alive, while they were weeks away from losing the house where we grew up playing tag in the yard and carving our heights into the pantry door. And my older brother Jax wasn't there to see it, because he's been finding himself in Portland, living off gig work and sending us postcards about his spiritual journey. And my sister Sarah was too busy financing a Pinterest-perfect wedding. She couldn't afford to even look at the mail, and they'd sit around the kitchen table talking in circles about how the system was rigged, because to them, complaining was the same thing as helping. And I couldn't watch my parents' spirits break. So without saying a word to anyone, I took that signing bonus every dollar meant for my first down payment, and I cleared the balance. And the look of pure, unadulterated relief on my dad's face when I handed him that receipt was worth more than any fancy condo. And he hugged me and called me the rock of the family. So fast forward to today's cookout where the sun is out and the burgers are on the grill and everything feels okay, until my dad stands up to make a toast and he gets all choked up and his voice starts cracking as he tells the whole family that if it wasn't for me, we'd be celebrating in a parking lot somewhere, and he calls me the family's guardian angel. And the silence that followed was deafening, and you could literally hear the charcoal popping while Jax didn't say congrats or look relieved. He just stared at me with pure venom and spat out that it must be nice to have the money to buy your way into being the favorite. And then he started screaming that I was weaponizing my privilege and making him look like a deadbeat just to feed my own ego. And he called my sacrifice financial gatekeeping, claiming I stole the opportunity for the siblings to solve it together, even though he hasn't had $50 to his name in years. And then Sarah chimed in saying, I only did it to hold it over their heads for the rest of our lives. And the worst part was my mom just stared at her potato salad and didn't say a single word to defend me while they tore me to shreds for saving their roof. So I walked out before the first burger was even served, and now my bank account is sitting at double digits while I'm still driving my beat-up Corolla with the check engine light on, and I gave up my future